Welcome back to the last episode of season 3 of Estate Agency Mastery. This is going to be a good one. Now, normally they're about 20 minutes long, but this guest, well, she goes on. And the reason is, Silvia, thank you for joining us. For those of us that don't know what you are, right, the reason is you go on is you run the biggest property podcast in Dubai. So briefly tell us about that.
Yeah, you have to ask yourself why you haven't heard of me yet if you don't know who I am. No, I'm joking. So my name's Silvia Eldawi. I am the host and producer of Golden Nuggets, which is the fastest growing real estate podcast in, let's just say it, let's call it the world. I'm just going to claim it.
Sure. Nice.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Estate Agency Mastery is closely followed at second, maybe. Sure, we'll go with that.
We'll review the Spotify statistics.
Yeah, you might have a few more than me for now. But listen, the only reason I got you on is you'll jump my numbers up. So I've heard your tips; they're not that good, right?
They're never actually my golden nuggets. That's the thing. I interview the best of the best, the creme de la creme around the real estate ecosystem. So whether that's brokerage, I get the top brokerage CEOs, I get prop tech founders, I get top brokers or agents, as we call them here, and yeah, we just have conversations. So I've actually got 4 different shows that serve different purposes. So there's Golden Nuggets with Silvia Eldawi, which is more the evergreen kind of autobiography discussion, life journey. How did you get into real estate? What are your golden nuggets? I've got one called Tips and Tales, which is very much kind of the playbook for real estate agents. And then I've got one called Tea and Tales, which is, I don't know if you remember back in the day, do you remember the Negotiator magazine?
Yeah.
At the back page, it had Diary of an Estate Agent,
yeah,
where it was all the shenanigans that go on in the life of. So Tea and Tales is agents spilling the tea on what really goes on behind the scenes.
Okay, I see.
And right now, the latest playlist is called The Situation Zoom, which is exactly what it says on the tin. It's the Situation Room, where I've invited a panel of real estate experts or decision makers, leaders, to talk about the current geopolitical situation in the Middle East. So it's kind of got a very short shelf life each episode because the situation is progressing day to day, and we won't talk about it too much here because we want this episode to be quite evergreen.
Well, this is our British tips and tales, right?
Right.
And just to say what you said earlier, the reason I do this is I get to learn from some of the best people, either agents or people like yourself, and just nick the tips and then almost share them as my own. Everyone goes, that Chris is great. So without further ado, Silvia, right? I asked for 3, you always over deliver. You've got about 6, which I love.
Yeah.
So if you're considering going self-employed now in the UK, whether it's in a brokerage, completely by yourself, what should you be focusing on?
Well, first of all, I want to start by saying I really, really support this whole self-employed movement. It is very similar to the Dubai setup where brokers will come in, they don't have a salary, and they typically start off on a 50-50% commission base. I don't know what the setup is here.
It's around 70-30.
70-30, okay. Yeah. And I think that's fair because as a salesperson, you really want to be rewarded on your performance, on the value of your network and so on. And I think from back in my day, being an agent back in 2001-2, we were on like 10%. I don't know if that's changed much since.
It's not, the employed model is still the same, right? And I don't want to bash the employed model. It's great and it serves a purpose. But for me, it doesn't serve the end user, as in the client, because there's no fiduciary, and it doesn't serve the agent because they can't create wealth. And I don't just mean monetary wealth. I mean time with family, time on hobbies, not burning out, and doing the right thing for the client. So I'm glad you see that shift. I guess my question to you then, before we go into the tips, is do you think agents work better, smarter, and harder when they're part of a brokerage as opposed to employed?
When what do you mean?
So with the Dubai model versus the traditional UK high street model?
Harder, smarter, faster, definitely brokerage model.
Yeah.
100%. Because if you're coming in, you're on a salary or basic plus commission, you are employed effectively. You have to be in at 9 a.m., you have to stay until 7 p.m. or whenever it may be. You probably won't answer the phone after 6 p.m. because it just doesn't mean enough for your pocket. So you would definitely have to work harder in a brokerage model, smarter, and probably what your clients need is more fitting to the brokerage model. Don't get me wrong, I love brokerage. What you call brokerage, estate agency.
Yeah,
Right, so we're mixing it up here because, excuse the language barrier. Right, so estate agency. Estate agency model, I've had some of my best years in estate agencies, like the culture, the education, the learning. But I do think there's a certain point where maybe 3 years into your real estate agent career, you should be ready to go out on your own and into a self-employed or brokerage model. Unless you like that comfort of working in a team and, I do find it a bit restrictive as well. And that's something that I've seen definitely in Dubai. They've got so much more freedom to go out and build their own personal brands, do their own, they're encouraged. You've got to be on social media. Whereas I think in the UK, it's not quite there. But we'll go into that. That'll be one of my tips.
Well, my old American business partner used to say to me, he used to draw a funnel out and he'd be saying, he or she who controls the lead controls the business. And he was like, I don't see your guys, and people aren't going to like this comment, but your estate agents as skilled because they're skilled in servicing the lead, but not creating the lead. And if you create the lead, you create opportunity, wealth. It's a completely different skill set.
Spot on.
And he then went further and was like, and I won't say who he is, he might get some hate emailed over to him, but he's like, estate agents in the UK live in poverty because they can't afford to often live, certainly in London, in the areas in which they service, or create the income to do the things they would like to do, right? Like say, if you're taking 10% of a fee home, you'll get 30 exchanges a month over the line just to keep the wolf from the door. You're not being paid that 100, 150 grand plus that you are worth. Where in the brokerage model, certainly in London, if you're not earning over those figures, you're doing something very, very wrong.
Yeah. Excuse me, cut that cough out. There'll be a lot of that.
It's one take.
Oh, right. Okay, fine. Sorry.
One take.
If you'll quickly know if you're going to make it or not.
Yeah.
But some people, and I have seen some agents on the brink of destruction. I'm talking about the Dubai brokerage model. A year's gone by and they've done nothing, and they're about to quit, and then the biggest deal of their life lands, and then they've made it, and then they've got the confidence to go on, and then they become superstars. So it's just at that point where you're about to give up is probably when you're gonna land your biggest deal.
Yeah, it's that whole mining for gold or the diamond and then turning round, right? That picture. So, all right, we've digressed. So you're thinking of doing it. We both believe it's the best thing for the agent and the end user. What should you be doing?
So I would say you've got to first of all have your knowledge, your experience right, and you're going to have to do that in the estate agency model. You can't teach yourself real estate. You can't be a rookie and go into the brokerage model. So get your stripes, earn your stripes, and then if you've got enough money to get by for the first 6 months, because you don't want to do this under stress.
No.
You don't want to launch your brand under despair, and you certainly don't want to have commission breath. With every conversation that you have, you're just like hunting for the next term. So you want to be able to ease into it gradually and not cut corners or not just chase the deals. So I would say, and this is something that it's quite a cultural shift. And I'm slowly seeing it. You've got some social media superstars here, but I would say you've got to get onto social media for multiple reasons. And I know a lot of people, especially here, the culture is very much, it's so cringe. It's cringe, right? We love that word. We do whatever we can to avoid being cringy. But Chris, you took the leap to not just kind of do social media, but actually do your own podcast. Why? You don't need to, but you know that this is an easy way to create interesting content, not just copy-paste content from other people. And actually, a lot of people use it as lead generation. Like, I know we've got mutual contacts who actually do all their business development by inviting their potential clients on a podcast. And it's a good way to have a conversation. I always say this, everyone's favorite subject is themselves.
Yeah.
So if you can have someone talking about themselves for an hour, they kind of owe you something in a way. At the end, I was like, oh, by the way, what do you do? Oh, I'm just an estate agent in what? Ah, okay, which areas do you cover? What do you? So I now feel like I owe you something. So I think we do need to separate social media and podcasts, but they are one and the same, is content creation. So content creation is key. You have got to build a personal brand. Yes, you are representing a greater brand, but you are the brand, and people are moving away from brands. Like, I have an iPhone. I don't follow Apple on Instagram, and you probably don't either. But if Steve Jobs was alive, you'd probably follow him. So it's all about we don't really care about brands anymore. Yes, it's maybe automatic. You're in the kind of iPhone or Apple ecosystem, so I'll buy everything Apple, but I don't care to really see what they're up to on a day-to-day basis. But Steve Jobs, who's a character and played a character, I'd be interested in seeing that. So you will have a persona, you have a character, display that. You are unique. What separates you from everybody else? And you've got to put that out there. So I strongly encourage everyone to just get started. And it doesn't have to be polished either. Like, if you check out the Situation Zoom, it's all like done on my laptop, not in a fancy studio, no micro. I don't even have a microphone. I'll just use my laptop microphone. And everybody else is on their own laptops with their own backgrounds. And people are lapping it up more because it feels raw, it feels messy. They don't necessarily particularly want that polished content creation. And there's a rise of what's called the yapping videos. So where you just whip out your phone, and Daniel Daggers does it all the time, like just walking up, Westbourne Grove, just pulls out his phone and starts talking. And you feel like a kind of fly on the wall to some degree. People are really consuming that kind of content. So I would say number one, social media.
We were just on that. We were having a conversation earlier with our wonderful videographer over there you were like, do the content that's a bit shaky now, that isn't polished, because that's people are actually looking at that more. The polished content's kind of gone.
I was like, do the shaky one, and I was like, what's it called when it's a bit shaky? He goes, handheld. I was like, that's
the one. And I think the other thing just on the podcast, right, is a really easy tip. If you could just go and interview local business owners in your hyper-local area, guess what? They're then going to share it. You're seen as someone that cares about the community. Yeah. You can set up a podcast for not that much money. And you're right. I was in Chelsea the other day, and they said, I've not heard of your brokerage or, known too much about you. And then I sent him over one of the podcasts we did. And he was like, oh no, I've actually listened to your podcasts. I didn't put two and two together. I haven't listened to it for a few years. And I was like, how long have I been doing it for? Love that episode you did with a guy called Oliver. Really keen to have a conversation about joining your brokerage. Or I'll speak to people and I go, I've been following your podcast. I love that one. Yeah. Remind me of that tip. And I'm going, I don't remember the episode. And it gives that social proof, right? Yeah. But I enjoy it as well, right? And there's so much you can do from a socials. And you're right. A lot of people watching this will go, Sylvia's from Dubai. Yeah. And
they're all flashy.
Yeah, they're all flashy knobheads with posh watches, and they love themselves too much. And they were probably the idiot at school that got suspended and, whatever. But actually, they're not afraid to go out of their comfort zone, which is it's that attraction piece. Because we're fighting for mind share the whole time, right? And you're right, you've got to be doing... I was having a conversation with my business partners yesterday on, is our social media output enough? And I don't think it is. Not, no. I don't think it is,
You've got to do it daily content. Yeah. And it's probably still not enough.
I'm almost like 3 times a day as a minimum. But if you look at your Daniel Daggers, there's stories, there's professional stuff, there's the raw stuff. It is constant, and I'm not there. So I agree. We've got to push ourselves out on social. So I'm gonna put you on the spot here, Sylvia. If there's one agent, UK, Dubai, Australia, I don't care, that our listeners should go and follow to get some inspiration from, it can't be me. Who should it be and why?
I'm gonna shout out Tris Taylor. He's a fellow Brit. He's been in Dubai for a few years, and he's a rising star. He's got himself like he's up to like 50,000 followers now. He came on my show. How I heard about him, interestingly, he popped up on my feed around about the time of the budget. So he's in Dubai, yet he's talking about the impact of the UK budget. And he was breaking it down, what this means for everyone. And as a UK landlord, I was like, let me pay attention to what he's saying. And then I realized he's in real estate. And I was like, this guy knows his stuff. But he is posting like a machine and very relatable. Some of it scrappy, some of it polished, but you can't get enough. So I would say Tris Taylor.
We will put him in the show notes. I'm sure he's an avid listener. He's going to be sharing this. Tris, get this shared. Thank you. That's cool. Thank you.
And it's not just about Instagram or TikTok. The other thing that I think, I mean, this is not one of the 6 tips, but you touched on it where you said get the local businesses on your podcast. People think, I just need to attract buyers and sellers. No, you just need everybody to know what you do.
Yeah.
And I think as estate agents, let's face it, we don't have the best reputation as an industry. It's not something that you go into that you're particularly proud of, right? It's like saying, I'm going to become a traffic warden. You'd probably keep that under wraps until you became the world's best traffic warden, right? And the problem is, you do yourself a disjustice or a disservice because the people that you're most likely to get business from or referrals from are people that already know you, already like you. But instead, we spend all our time seeking strangers. And I would say you've got to leverage your community, your network, your friends, and your family. And a lot of people, and I've seen this, and I see this in Dubai as well, where they don't necessarily want to start posting or leveraging their immediate network until they know that real estate's going to be for them. So what will they do? They'll create a separate Instagram. So they'll have their personal and they'll have a separate professional Instagram. They will have a different mobile number. So they'll be using WhatsApp, and WhatsApp's another trick that I think the UK needs to get on. I don't know if there's any GDPR. All
of the agents that are self-employed in a brokerage will use WhatsApp. All of them.
Okay, so here's the thing: if you've got your number, would you have a separate number for your work stuff?
So I used to. I then found it unmanageable.
Right.
I then put my phone through the wash, my work phone, so I didn't replace it. But in this day and age, my strong advice, and one of my best friends got 2 million followers on TikTok. Right, he's like, one mobile number, one account, and be known for your field.
Absolutely.
And don't go off piece. So I did a fitness post the other day, and he was like, what are you doing? You should be UK estate agency. No one cares if
you're a human. You're a human. You have a life outside of real estate. Show that. People want to see that. There's one Chris.
He didn't agree with that, by the way.
No, I disagree with him.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, no,
Ben,
like,
we're putting you in the show notes.
If you've got kids, show, I don't know if you want to post your kids, but show that you are also
I do that,
parent.
the family side, right? Or me teaching them about the values of money. They're 3 and 5, right? What's passive income, all this, and they're reeling it back to me with their little Cockney accents.
Imagine if the traffic warden, let's go back to my traffic warden analogy. If you saw that the traffic warden actually was a nice, decent human being, you'd probably give him less of a hard time.
I don't know, like not in London.
But yeah, show your personal side, show your hobbies, your activities. There's a balance. Like I'd probably say 30, probably equal to the commission structure. I'd say 70% work, 30%.
Well, the advice I was given off a coach previously was every reel or post should be about real estate and estate agency and brokerage and property. Your stories is a combination of the two.
So leverage that. Yeah. So stories. So one Chris, one Instagram.
100%.
One LinkedIn, and we'll get onto that in a second as well, and one number. Because someone said to me the other day that I had my phone out and she was like, and I nearly dropped it, and I never have a case on my phone. I don't like cases. I just think the people that put cases on their phone are the people that keep plastic on their sofas.
You've lost our audience here. We're all gone.
No, so I love feeling the phone, right?
Oscar, drop a phone with you. Just smash it off the floor.
He's got I holding onto my phone. So, and the point I was trying to make was, she was like, that phone, you've got to protect that phone. And I was like, no, I like it like this. She's like, it contains billions of dollars worth of contacts. And I was like, do you know what? You're bloody right.
Was she Welsh?
No, she wasn't. No. Well, did that sound a bit Welsh? Right.
You didn't.
And I was like, okay, this has got everyone from my history. Okay, fair enough. It's a 9-year-old number because it's my Dubai number. But it's got all my friends, anyone that I've interacted with in my last decade of life, from the drivers to the, hospitals to removal men, anyone is who's on my phone is on my WhatsApp. And they get to see my WhatsApp status updates. And that is a trick that I think is so missed. So I'm posting every day on Instagram. Everything that I post, I repurpose onto my WhatsApp stories.
Does that not take a little time?
It's all I do for a living. So, so I can afford to do that. But the power of you've probably got people in your phone that don't have a clue that you're a real estate agent. But if you were pushing out a bit more content, they would know.
I tell you what, the one that gets me is when people go, oh, I didn't realise you could sell in that part of London or Manchester or wherever. I'm like, we've got agents all over. I've not done a good enough job, right? Yeah. And that's my fault. I've got to own that. Okay, so WhatsApp stories.
WhatsApp stories. That's my little secret treasure. And I would just I challenge everyone right now. I've done this before on another podcast, but
was it as good as this one?
This was way better. No. Challenge you right now. Just post if you've never used WhatsApp status updates. Post one random picture. Just go in your camera roll. Post one. It could be like flowers or something. Just post one random picture, and then in a few hours' time, go back and see who's viewed that story. And actually, you won't even have to wait a few hours because within a couple of hours, someone will message you from your history saying, oh, hello, and they'll ask you a question. Even better if it could be a real estate related post, because you might just give someone an idea. Oh, I didn't realize you were in real estate. So I challenge everyone, do that now.
So the amount of people are going to be listening to this and then go, oh, that's a good idea, and not take action. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get my phone
and do it now.
Oscar, can you do a picture? Make sure you catch this, because if you don't, it's going to be a bit awkward. Take the photo, and at the end of the episode, I'll do it, and I will update you, and I'll even put the output in the show notes.
Yes,
how about
brilliant. Let's do that, and we can see how many people viewed it and whether someone completely random from your past reached out. So
if we get a new agent join off this, brilliant, worth having you on.
Yeah, and then that's it. I can leave now. No, I'm joking.
Right, well, good to see you.
That's a wrap for today. So yeah. Okay. That was number maybe 1 or 2. I don't know. I've lost count.
We'll blur them all. It's fine.
And then, but also don't. It does take time. But what TikTok likes is different to what Instagram likes. What LinkedIn likes is different. So I repurpose everything and adjust it for the platform.
So a lot of British agents will not use TikTok. They'll be like, it's for kids.
Yeah.
I was having a strong conversation with my business partners saying we really need to get on it. What would you say to the British agents that say TikTok's for kids, it's not for my agent?
I agree. Yes, TikTok is for kids. And it's not my favorite. My favorite is Instagram. But I have to be on TikTok because there is an audience over there that only use TikTok. And you can't say who your ideal client or buyer is going to be or what their preference is. And I've got some really mature people, by the way, on my TikTok. I'm like, what the hell are you doing here? Get over to Instagram. But they're there. So use it. It doesn't take that much more effort, but you have to get your tentacles out in as many places as possible because it's about pull marketing rather than push marketing. So be on TikTok. I'd say maybe Snapchat is a little bit, I'd say Snapchat, probably not, but TikTok, there are some brokers in Dubai who get all their leads on TikTok. All their leads. And I'm talking princes and princesses on TikTok. So if you use it right, again, you'll be surprised just as you will with your WhatsApp status updates. So
great tip so far. You were going to mention, was it AI? Talk to me.
Yeah, so look, I'm not going to claim to be an expert when it comes to AI and LLMs.
What's that mean?
Learning language models or
Very
language
good.
learning models, I don't know. But we've got to teach the learning language models or the LLMs. Let's just keep, because I don't know which way around it is.
You should do. You just Googled it.
Shall I just Google it?
You did Google it on camera. I'm throwing you under the bus.
One or the other.
Yeah.
We have no idea how powerful it is. I knew it was going to come for a lot of jobs. I didn't realize how powerful it is until I rebuilt my website in 3 hours, and it looks, if I may say so myself, it looks banging.
Okay.
Check it out, and this is not
We'll
a plug.
put a link below. We'll put a link in the show notes.
Propology.com, Propologi.com. Have a look at it and tell me if it's not the absolute
Nuts.
beat in the nuts. And that was just me prompting, like, no, I don't like it. Make it this color, or put this page here, or rename.
Did you do that voice as you were typing?
More or less. I'm quite a bossy prompter. But it blew me away how it could do that, and so quickly. And I actually sat there feeling sorry for web designers, because I'm here, it's called vibe coding. So I'm here vibe coding, and I'm producing work that's probably taken years to study, and they could charge, I would have happily paid £1,000 for the quality of work that I got.
And you're quite tight, so that's great to hear.
Right? And I paid, €25 for
Nice.
I've got the subscription now, and I'm going to keep improving it. But the value of it is I've got like 150 episodes, right? With 150 real estate superstars. The content that is contained within each episode, the words we have used, the transcripts are all there. It turned every episode into a blog post in less than like 5 minutes. The richness of that data, I now can confidently say to any guest that's coming on my show, if someone Googles you, this episode is going to come up on top. This conversation, the transcript, or even if someone Googles something about the conversation. So before me, we had Ewan, right? Perfect example. Let's say, so he's one of your agents in Totteridge and Whetstone.
Whetstone, yep.
Totteridge and Whetstone. So if he came on the show, well, he's come on your show. Did you mention Totteridge, Whetstone?
We dropped it in there
right,
a few
so
times.
you dropped in Totteridge, Whetstone, you dropped in the word real estate or property, and you had a conversation around Totteridge, Whetstone, real estate, property. The next person that Googles, and it's not even about Google anymore, but let's just say they Google Totteridge, Whetstone, real estate, YouTube, which is owned by Google, is going to show that on page 1 before it shows anything else. That's that. Now, me personally, I've stopped Googling as much as asking Chat or Claude, right? And we are slowly moving to quite a heavy reliance on the LLMs or the AI or the chat, whatever they're called, chatbots. And if your next client is saying, find me the best real estate agent in Totteridge, you want to come up in that search result.
100%.
And the only way that you're going to... I met a woman the other day, she's got nothing to do with real estate. She's actually she's got a kind of angel investment firm or family office. And she's one of I think she had the first female founded family office in the UK. Back in 1991 it was founded.
Nice.
And she said that every day she has a conversation with her Claude or whatever, and she's feeding it information every day, just like writing a journal to someone, and then it'll pump stuff out, and then she'll go back and say no, she'll correct it, and she's training her language, sorry, that's my stomach. She's training her, sorry, for your audio pleasure, they don't feed us here in the studio, no joking.
We had crumpets, seeing crumpets. Welcome back to Britain. Take you to buy chocolate and shove it up your... No. Keep going.
So Yeah, we don't know the power of it. We know that it is working and it's going to be bigger than everything.
Yeah.
So start feeding the machines, because people are searching, and people eventually, let's be honest, they're going to be searching for property through.
We're seeing it now.
Yeah.
So when we write descriptions, or when we're pitching in the living room, we're going, are you aware of AEO and GEO? So AI, engine optimization, and geographic engine optimization.
Okay.
And most agents will go out and go, here's our Rightmove best price guide. It's not changed since you were an agent. I'll do it for a percent if you sign today. I'm normally 1.5%, but there's a deal to be done. We're going, you need to be shown up on LLM, so this is what we're doing over and above. And this is the way we write descriptions. It's completely different. But you're right in terms of feeding the machine. The guest previous to you and Mark, same thing. He's saying, right, you can almost, where do you want to end up in 5 years, and use the correct prompts so the model can direct you on what to do.
Yeah.
And as a self-employed agent, you can even get it to block out your calendar and tell you what the best bang for your buck is.
So everything, content, feeding the engine, and also organizing yourself, just becoming a bit more efficient. I think everyone has, if you can save some time, and you were saying you've got such a busy day today and you've got so much going on and you've got messages, but if you can use the tools available to become a bit more efficient, and you can, I can't say what these tools are. I don't know if you're using anything. I'm not I post manually everything. I'm sure there's an easier way of doing it. So as I said, I'm not an expert, but explore the things that you're doing repetitively, and is there a more efficient way of doing that?
I'm giving myself, and I'm giving myself a little plug here. If you're same as what you said, chrisbuckler.co.uk has got all these episodes on, all the show notes, and this season 3 is all about what should I do as a self-employed agent. Throw the website in there, put the prompt in based on what I like doing. What should I be doing as a self-employed agent? Give me top 10 tips that I should do. Fill my calendar out. Find the best people in the business so I can copy them. I call it R&D, right? Rip off and deploy. Go and find Ewan or Mark or yourself and go, right, what do they do really well? I'll go and nick that, but obviously put my own spin on it. So
and I don't know if you're encouraging this with your agents, but you should all have your domain.com, like chrisbuckler.com. .co.uk might be a bit restrictive, maybe one day you'll be
couldn't get the .com. There's a few quid.
Maybe one day you'll be international. So buy your domain, even if you don't do anything with it. Just sit on it before someone else gets it. So get your full name domain. That's another must do. Build your website in seconds. I can plug it. I can say I did it on Lovable, Lovable, and if you want a code, I can give you the code
because I get notes. You get a bit of dough.
I get credits. So every stupid prompt I give wastes a credit. So I'm wasting credits left, right, and centre because I'm like, I don't like it. Do it again. So I should be sending a lot bigger prompts or more succinct prompts. So AI. There was another thing on efficiency. Yeah, I think efficiency. Don't shy away from it.
Do you know what? So efficiency is super underrated. Super underrated, right? When you think I've got to do everything, efficiency is probably one of the least talked about yet most important things you can do as a business owner. So what have you got for us on efficiency?
Okay, well, going back to WhatsApp, I would definitely encourage everyone to upgrade from regular WhatsApp to WhatsApp Business. Because you know how, back in the 2000s, I don't know how long you've been in real estate, but in the early 2000s, until now, everyone's obsessed about their window cards, their window display, the shop front. Your WhatsApp profile is essentially your window card, your window display. So you can, if you upgrade to WhatsApp Business, you can have your email address, your website, if you've got your domain.com.
Got it all filled out,
Your opening hours, if there are any, if you are restricting people to contacting you. You can add all the links, you can add all your listings with the photos, there's a catalog section. Of course, real estate agents are known for being constantly on the go, not able to respond very quickly. So you can set up auto replies to any message that says, probably out on a viewing. I'll get back to you as soon as possible. You can also do a frequently asked questions, prompt response. So if someone's constantly asking, what's your email address? Or there's a common question you're being asked, what's your availability? It can just respond on your behalf.
Didn't know that.
Yeah,
so
explore WhatsApp for Business. Like the agents in Dubai.
I've got it, but I don't.
The agents in Dubai, no, I'm not comparing them. You know, the British agents could probably run rings around Dubai agents when it comes to professionalism and...
wearing socks.
Well, actually, that's another good one. Let's talk about dress code.
Okay.
Because I actually think the whole suit and tie thing is done.
I agree.
Yeah, and... Of course, back in the day, yes, you're expected to be polished, shiny shoes, shave your beard. I did an interview with Peter Rollins and he was like, you know, someone came in with, what do they call it, 5 o'clock?
Yeah.
He'd send them back home. But again, I'd much rather deal with someone that looks like you, dressed like you, rather than stiff, looking like they've just come off the rat race.
The biggest thing I hear now is from agents when they make the move is how free they feel when they're dressed to impress. Yeah. Reese seems to be the brand everyone kind of goes for, but they don't feel stiff in a suit and they feel so much more relatable in the lounge, right? Yeah. Listen, if they're off to see, you know, an older accountant, maybe open collar or whatever. If it's a 25-year-old tech entrepreneur, just a t-shirt and some knackered jeans, right? You've got to dress to impress your audience,
right?
Now, I will say,
caveat.
And you might fight me back on this, is I do actually think the guys in Dubai dress quite well compared to our UK agents.
No, I mean, listen, they're tailored. They've got the Loro Pianas. And they're in like 50-degree heat.
We've got Next. Shiny suits from Next.
I just feel that it's the equivalent of, you know, when you call someone sir or madam, you're kind of accepting that you're beneath them or subservient, or you're serving them to some degree. Real estate used to be like that, where if you're the estate agent, you're serving the seller, you're serving the buyer. But now I think we just want an advisor. If you're a buyer, a seller, you want someone who is going to advise you. Like you might have a financial advisor, you have wealth management, you have a tax advisor, you have a lawyer, you have your real estate advisor, and that is who you are. And I don't think that you should have to be stiff and in a suit to kind of show that you are. Yeah, it just feels like you're. Do
you know? I'm going to add to that and go almost slightly further. So, like the suit is a coat of armor to protect the fact you can't advise, because you can't advise on everything property-wise. You've never bought a buy-to-let. You don't understand leasehold reform. Right. You are a one-trick pony that only understands how to chuck something on the right. Yeah, right move, open the doors, and then grunt a little bit and go, "I've got a really good offer." And so it's almost a false pretense versus dressing how you want, but bowling the client over with your integrity, your knowledge, your approach, your values, and how you can articulate your value, which you tend not to see that well here. Whereas in Dubai, you have to articulate your value and be the next step, because you've got another young whippersnapper at your heels, where it's just not quite that level here.
Yeah. Well, there's another agent I'll give a shout out to. Check him out on Instagram, Dubai Jord, Jord. I think he's Geordie, but his name's Jordan. I think I can't remember. Maybe he's from Manchester. Anyway, young guy, I imagine he's less than 25. He closed $1 billion dirhams worth of sales last year. He's probably one of the richest real estate agents in Dubai. He's tatted up, his leg sleeve, arm sleeve. He's walking around in trainers, shorts, and t-shirt. That's his outfit, right? But he sells. And I think you couldn't get away with it here, but how Dubai agents show their value, instead of wearing a suit, it's the watch, it's the timepiece. So you can get away with it. Like, you can look like a piece of shit, but you're wearing a Patek or whatever. What's the other?
AP.
Yeah, AP, Patek. And then it's like, oh yeah, they're good at what they do. So you kind of want to have that little, I'm successful. And typically in our industry, it's hard to, like you said, you wear the suit as your armor because you've never bought a property. But once you're in the position where you've gone through the process of buying a property, you've gone through the process of selling a property, you can relax into a polo shirt and say, I've been here before, I'm advising you because I know best. Not like I'm 21 years old, I've never even rented my own property, and I've got no experience, I'm just telling you what I've been taught. So, yeah.
Nice. All right, so we've done the efficiency piece and the dress piece.
So what we've done, social media, we've done AI.
Yeah.
We've done dress code.
Yeah.
Let's talk about discipline, because
the D word.
The D word.
It's a dangerous word.
It's a dangerous word, and it is a challenging one. So I tell you, I've been employed. I'm 46, and I've been employed for 26 years. 26 years, and it's only the past 3 years that I've been on my own. Right? No boss, no staff, no investors, just me, responsible for me. And it teaches you about you, doesn't it?
It does, right? Because you got yourself an office straight away, and then I see you post on WhatsApp. No, I see you, and I'm like, it's like 7 o'clock at night, and you can see that, right? One of the things I see with discipline is drive. They're almost, you can't have one without the other. And I was once taught about enthusiasm versus endurance. It's like, do you want to run your own business? Yes. Do you want to have all the success? Yes. Do you want to earn a load of dough? Yeah. Do you want your time back? Yeah. Are you going to go knock on 50 doors today? No, what it is. Or are you going to put yourself out? No, I'm just going to post 2 social media videos today. That if you want to be a huge success, you have to, the discipline and the drive have to go hand in hand and be super regimented. So if you're watching this and you're going, all right, sounds good, Chris, Silvia, yeah, all right, we've been a nice podcast so far. How do you get those together, and how do you remain disciplined when things aren't going your way?
I mean, I can only tell you from my own experience, and I don't know what drives everybody else, but and maybe you can kind of chime in. For me, like you said, when I got back to London, the first thing I did was take out an office membership, so Fora membership. I knew my style is not WeWork. It was more Fora, okay? And I knew I needed to be working from a fancy office to get the best out of me. And I needed to be paying a little bit more than, a bit like a gym membership, you know. I needed to stretch myself a little bit so that I turned up.
I'm like that. If I'll buy some expensive runners, and guess what? I'm out running, right? Yeah, I'm with you.
So, and it was like first things first, and because I know myself, I know that if I end up working from home, I don't get the best out of me. I'll end up in the fridge. I'll end up on Netflix or whatever it may be. So I know what my best working environment, my best creative environment is. It's in a nice, and I didn't also want to be beholden to I didn't want to find a hotel or hotel lobby and where there's noise around, and you work out of the Ned. You've got membership at the Ned. That's lively, but that wouldn't work for me because it's too buzzy, and I'd probably.
As you were saying this, I work probably a couple of days a week, but most it's for meetings. But actually, work in terms of laptop work, I was literally thinking, do I need to get myself an office for? Because I work from home.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, just chuck a quick wash on, or I'm in the fridge as well.
Which is actually, I mean, this is a good life, let's be honest.
It's good, but am I super efficient? And I was questioning that, and I don't know if I am. So that's something I need to go and look at. So I've taken value from today, even if the listeners haven't, don't worry.
and it's, again, I completely have to, another thing it's personal to me is I've accepted I am not a morning person, right? I work best.
That's why we booked you in late in the afternoon.
When it was like, what time? I was like 3 o'clock. Yeah, that's perfect. I know I don't get I'm good at tasks in the morning, but I'm not good at talking. I'm not good at, I'm not in the best mood in the morning. So it's better for me doing what I do to operate at maximum efficiency from 12 till 9. That's when you get the best of it. So I've decided my kind of unofficial working hours are 12 till 9. That suits me better. And again, as a real estate agent, surely your office hours or your working hours need to probably be 9 till 9 because you're doing viewings. When we were stuck in the estate agency model, You do viewing, okay, you might do a 7 o'clocker, you might do a 7:30, but your clients or your buyers, your tenants need you at probably 8:30, 9 o'clock. And if you could be available for them, no problem, then you're going to stand out.
It's so, do you know what, this is, because I literally see agents that maybe haven't got as much business as they should do. They've got kids or a partner or whatever, say, I have to switch off at 6.
No.
Do you want to make a huge business that your partner, your kids can turn around and go, look at mummy, look at that. Yeah. They've created something. Now, you have to have balance and all that. I'm all for it. But British-based agents, on the whole of which I am one, my ex-partner's one, I love them, my whole life is based around this, tend to give themselves more time off than they deserve. Right. And one of the big failures I see when people go self-employed is, I get to drop my kids off at school, that's brilliant. I get to pick them up, that's brilliant. But when they go to bed, you can't be watching Arsenal or whatever. Like, you need to be, and I fell foul of this in a way where I've been super tired or whatever, and I've gone through the motions, and I'm like, what was my output? What have I achieved? And if you look at my business partner, Kenny, he is a machine, right? That guy will not stop. And having him in my sphere is important as well, because, and like even having you in my sphere and I see your work, I'm like, Kenny's working late, Silvia's working late. I was about to bloody, switch off and phone some. I'm going to do that status. I'm going to do that extra bit of content. I'm going to do, because you have to earn the right to be successful, and you have to be disciplined.
Yeah, totally. And you will see me post at 11 p.m. And again, I try to work the algorithm, but sometimes I'm just like, no, I'm sitting on this content. Why should I sit on it until what the algorithm tells me is prime time to post and all that nonsense, like post between 5 and 7 or something. I'm like, no, it's ready now. The people deserve this now. So I'm posting it if it's 11 a.m., if it's 3 o'clock in the morning. I've posted episodes at 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, there might be some person out there who's insomniac, would just love to see that little YouTube notification pop up. Or there might be someone, I'm not awake at 6 a.m., but there might be people driving into work that want to hear that episode. So you've got to, I think, definitely British agents versus Dubai agents. The Dubai agents will answer a WhatsApp. They will answer a call at 11 p.m. I'm not sure the British agents would. They will kind of, draw the line. No, 7 p.m. But you're just not going to be successful.
No, and do you know what? This is the second time on this podcast live I'm going to take action. Mm-hmm. So the first one was the WhatsApp.
Yeah, what are you going to do now? What's the
second one
now?
Is, Oscar, can we get some BTS, please? I need to be doing more of this. Yes, I'm getting the episodes, but why would I not repurpose the content as many times, even before it's live? Mm-hmm. All right, are you
BTS's.
ready? Are you ready, Oscar? He's ready, perfect. Next tip then, what have you got for us?
So what did we do? We did...
We've just done discipline.
Social media discipline.
AI.
Leverage your network. We did, because I said, make sure your friends and family know what you do, because they're going to be your biggest champions.
Can I curveball you with something then?
Go on.
What is, of all the agents you've spoken to, that you follow on socials, and you've dropped some agents in, but what is some tactics that you see agents do, whether it's a YouTube channel, whether it's whatever, and you're like, you should be doing that, British guys, you should be doing that. What have you got?
The social media, WhatsApp, 24 hours, that is definite, should be doing. One thing that, because again, I don't want to say like Dubai agents versus UK agents, but I can tell you now, the top Dubai agents, it's not necessarily that they're selling the most to multiple people. 9 times out of 10, those top agents have just got one client that they are milking. Yeah. Whether it's they're milking that client, they're holding on to them for dear life because they're very active, or they're milking that client and their network. So everybody's got a Mr. or a Mrs. Moneybags or, serial buyer in their phone. Who are they? Who's their main agent?
Yeah. And do you know what I love about this is there'll be agents watching this going, well, we don't do much buyer representation, so I have to use that. But one of the lines we always use is, hey, listen, when I do such a great job, I'm going to ask you for 2 or 3 referrals, and you're not going to mind, which is whatever way you finish that off. So British agents might be going, well, yeah, but it doesn't work like that. But it does, because if you position yourself as that self-employed business, whatever you want to call yourself, but advisor that can advise anywhere, whether you're doing collabs or whatever else, people will refer you.
Yeah. You won't even have to ask for it.
No.
It will just happen. And you've got to be part of a network in order to do that, because again, it's very much the typical role of a real estate agent is quite restricted by your geography. And if you don't have a network of agents in all parts of London, first of all, rentals, mortgages, you've got to have, your contact book has to be incredible.
Yeah.
So you've got to have the best conveyancers, you've got to know the best lawyers, whatever it may be, you should be the go-to for the best. You should know the best agent in your neighboring postcodes or your neighboring areas. Or if you're, let's say, I don't know, someone's moving out of Shepherd's Bush, where are they likely to move to next? You've got to know the best agents, or at least know some good agents in those areas and out of London, Birmingham, Manchester, Liverpool. So, and then international, Dubai, France, Europe. You've got to, anytime that you're not doing work, let's say you're stuck for something, maybe just work on expanding your network of other real estate professionals, because that is going to be part of the successes. And then you'll just find that one person who is going to refer you for days without even having to ask for it.
I love it. Thank you. Right, we're coming to the end of the podcast, but I want to curveball you again.
Okay.
What is the two questions? Best bit of advice you've ever been given, and the best bit of advice that's ever been given on any one of your podcasts.
Ooh. Okay, best bit of advice I've been given.
Stop vaping by me a few hours ago.
Yeah, we're not taking that, so can't be that great. Best bit of advice. Just nothing really matters. Really does it matter. And until something bad happens to you, I mean, this is quite negative, but like all your woes right now can be wiped out by a huge woe tomorrow.
Yeah.
So nothing's that big of a deal. So just learn to kind of let things go, or think, am I going to, in 1 year's time, is this really going to matter? No. So just, and the same applies to your personal brand. Nobody gives a fuck. Don't be so scared to be a little bit cringy. And the thing is, the people that will judge you actually probably secretly admire you. Like, I couldn't do that, but that's cringe. But I couldn't do that. It's actually you're striking a chord in their own hang-ups, in their own insecurities. Anyone that will make you feel bad about posting content, and so that was a bit jumbled up.
No, I'm with you.
I'm saying, like, nothing is ever really that big of a deal. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't. So one of my old business partners, top 100 realtors in the US, was the mayor of his town and also a volunteer paramedic. Then he used to do a shift every other weekend, and I remember him coming over to UK and just saying casually, and it stuck with me, there's no such thing as an emergency in real estate. He's like, when I'm on the front line pulling people out of cars, that's a freaking emergency, right? Someone pulls out of a deal, if the mortgage doesn't, there's no emergency, and that really stuck with me.
Yeah, so it's not that big a deal.
Not that big a deal.
Even though it could feel like, your world's caving in, it's really not that big a deal.
And final tip from your podcast.
Okay, so technically it's not actually a tip from my podcast. It was someone else's. I think is actually really relevant to the conversation today. So it was, the podcast I was a guest on this podcast. It was Lamide Elizabeth, host of Wealth Without Borders podcast. Fantastic, check it out on YouTube. She's amazing. And she talks about building wealth, and of course real estate was one of those means of building wealth. But the subject that we spoke about was, you cannot build wealth without ownership. And that was the key takeaway, and that's partly kind of given me the motivation to continue, is that as long as I'm employed, I will not be wealthy. And we did a couple of reels, they went super viral. People were up in the comments, they were like, nah, there's people earning 500,000, whatever, they are wealthy. No, they're not wealthy because of the income, they're wealthy because of what they do with that income. So you've got to have ownership, whether it be of real estate, whether it be of alternative assets, stock market, or business. And that's why I am a strong supporter of the self-employed model. Yes, you're working for a brand, but you are working yourself, and it's that first step to ownership of you as a business.
So one of the things we do on this podcast is we keep it really brokerage agnostic, but you've just hit on something which is super personal to me, and that comes from my old business partner saying, Chris, estate agents in the UK live in poverty. So one of the things I am super keen on us building out, I'm certainly not saying it is done yet, is, you know, when you have your business banking, you have different buckets, that when we pay agents, you could have SE investments as one of the buckets, that when your commission comes in, it automatically gets siphoned off. And then we help you either chuck it in an S&P 500, or there are opportunities that by being an agent within our brokerage that we can put in front of you, whether that's property, distressed deals, whatever else. And that's where I will take this brokerage space, whatever I'm involved into. How do I help agents who maybe haven't had the financial education, don't spend time listening to podcasts like the one you've just mentioned, to help them build the habits of wealth.
Right.
So that's hit me personally.
And we're not taught, we weren't taught it in school, and we weren't taught it in school for a reason, because they need you poor.
Yeah,
they need 100%. You working. They need you part of the system. They need you paying taxes. But like some of the stuff that I've learned in the last 3 years, I'm just like, why isn't this common knowledge? Why don't 100%. We know this? This is not fair. And yeah, life is not fair. So go out, give it your best shot, and own it. And by owning it, and I mean own everything that we've discussed in today's episode, from own your personal brand, own your network, own your learning language models, own your WhatsApp for business. Just own it, and that you are the brand, you are the wealth creator. So do it.
I love that. Oscar, third time I'm coming to you today. In my bag there is a book. Would you mind just quickly passing it over?
Oh, is this relevant?
It is super relevant. I am reading this for the second time. I don't know if you can see it, The Psychology of Money.
Oh, you only got it because you got it half price. Look,
yeah,
buy one, get one half.
Yeah, listen, take the man out of Birmingham, right? I got a deal last time I was going away. But this is what they do not teach you.
Right.
And in terms of efficiencies, investments, index fund, compounding, something that is so important.
Right.
Reading this for the second time has been incredible, and it ties in exactly what you said. And
Life Hack, that is available as an audio book on YouTube. So you don't even need to spend money to get this.
There we go.
If you're more of a listener, then go to YouTube and type in Psychology of Money, and you will change you've got to change your attitude to money, ownership, and wealth. And I think on that note,
thank you so much.
I've dropped as many shiny golden nuggets as I could.
They've been golden, just like your podcast.
Thank you,
Silvia. Thank you so much.
Keep rolling.
Go on.
We need to check your WhatsApp status updates.
That's what we need to do. Yeah. Well, WhatsApp status
right.
update.
So how long ago was it?
And we are back in. It was like half hour, 40 minutes.
Right. So earlier on in the episode, I challenged Chris and all of you to post a status update on WhatsApp.
Yeah.
And just see the response, see who's checked it out, how many people, if they're people that you haven't spoken to for years, and has anyone messaged you?
I've got 68 views, 5 likes.
Any random messages?
I haven't had messages, but I have had it's people that I haven't spoken to for a while that have liked this, that are in the real estate space. Right. I've had some people, that
anybody that like you haven't spoken to for years.
A couple, yeah.
So it's just about
electrician. I don't know who that is.
See, now that electrician is visiting property all day long. And if they get the whiff that someone is fixing something electrical because they're going to try and sell, don't you think you'd be top of mind?
I think so. I think so. There we go. It works. Thank you so much.
So try it.
Do you want to throw the book back at me now?
I'll throw the book back at you and drop down in the comments what happened after you did your little WhatsApp exercise, and also what happened after you read or watched, listened to The Psychology of Money.
And subscribe.